Rick Lagina, Dave Blankenship, Charles Barkhouse, and Doug Kroll head to the Money Pit area, where the team from Choice Drilling has begun a new coring operation.
It's exciting, thinking about whether we're going to find a debris field today.
You know, I'm pretty much absolutely convinced that it is a tunnel. The tunnel leading from Shaft 6.
It's as good a chance as a 6 as we've encountered up till now.
In an attempt to avoid the booby traps that thwarted efforts to dig deeper down into the original Money Pit, in 1861, a team of treasure hunters dug a second shaft some 18 feet west of it. They hoped that by digging deep down in dry ground and then digging back toward the Money Pit and under the treasure vault, they could successfully retrieve whatever lies hidden there. Unfortunately, at a depth of 118 feet and just 1 foot shy of their target, the tunnel, known as Shaft 6, suddenly filled with seawater. Shortly thereafter, a number of thunderous crashes were heard deep underground, leading the workers to speculate that the tons of wood cribbing in the original Money Pit had collapsed and that its treasure must now lay scattered across a massive flooded debris field. 3 weeks ago, while searching for possible tunnels, the Oak Island team made a discovery at a depth of 109 feet.
Uh-oh, that's wood.
A discovery that suggested they had located Shaft 6.
That's the edge of your timber. Yeah.
We could possibly, just possibly, be in your debris field. The tunnel going from Shaft 6 to the Money Pit.
Good morning.
Morning.
It should be a good morning.
Yeah, let's hope.
Sure.
If the team can verify that the wood they found came from Shaft 6, they may be closer than ever to locating the original Money Pit, and hopefully an underground debris field littered with incredible artifacts and treasure. Using a specialized sonic drilling rig, which generates powerful vibrations to pulverize earth and other obstacles, the team will extract core samples at intervals of 10 feet. The spoils will then be collected into plastic sleeves to be carefully searched for any important clues or valuable objects.
What are we at, 118?
Yeah.
118, Charles.
118. This is the critical one right here.
Show me the money. That's a piece of wood. There's a piece of wood.
Oh, it's somewhat vertical.
Ah.
Check that out.
It's wood.
Hey, Rick.
Just a minute.
Yeah,
Come take a look at this.
Yeah, Craig.
we'll call back later.
Well, I hope you got good news.
A big piece of wood. Vertical, too.
You know, we must have clipped the edge, just the edge of a tunnel.
Say, there's your tunnel.
6. That's it. 6.
That's the saving grace of the hole.
If it is the tunnel 6.
You only have one option. Go easy.
Yeah.
Finding what the team believes to be the westernmost edge of Shaft 6 has offered a much welcome breakthrough. It suggests that by continuing to drill east of this site, they will be able to follow the tunnel to the Money Pit's precise location, approximately 18 feet away.
Today was a good day on Oak Island. It's obvious that it's the end of a beam. So we're in a tunnel, and I'm very excited to exploit this find.
I'm happy we found evidence of a tunnel at a proper depth which correlates to the previous hole. Well, now we have 3 data sets that indicate there is indeed a tunnel there. This needs to be investigated.
Which means we got to go back and scrutinize what geotech there is around where this suggests the Money Pit would sit.
It supports further investigation. So it was a good day.
Count this as a win today.
At the wash table near 10X,
For data sense northwest of Money Pit, we went to 150, 160 feet, if I remember correctly.
surveyor Steve Guptill and treasure hunter Michael John are sifting through the spoils from a borehole known as E5.25.
Steve, look at this. Oh, wow. You know what that looks like to me? I think that's a cannonball or a grape shot of some sort. So yeah, I don't know how old these can date. I know they can date old, but a grape shot or a small cannonball, that's about the size.
That's right, yeah.
A small cannonball or possibly grape shot? Used as artillery in both land-based and naval warfare dating back to the 15th century. Grape shot was made of materials such as metal, stone, or clay, which were tightly packed into clusters and fired from cannons in order to cripple and sink warships on the high seas. Is it possible that Michael has now discovered a piece of artillery that may be connected to that very weapon, and in a borehole that might also be near or even intersecting the original money pit?
All right, prepare to astonish me.
Here we go.
It's looking different.
Arriving on the heels of this potentially important discovery are Marty Lagina and archaeologist Dr. Aaron Taylor.
What the hell is that?
It's got an interesting weight to it, eh?
Do you have any ideas?
Right now, I'm not sure.
Let's hear yours.
Grape shot, like some sort of weapon.
Grape shot?
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah, I think so too.
You know what? You could be right. Maybe it is grape shot. I think it's a cool find. We need to get a lot of eyes on that. Somebody might know what it is. When I see this little rock cannonball thing, I know immediately who needs to have a look at it. Gary needs to have a look at it. He's found such things before, and Laird needs to have a look at it.
It's definitely worth collecting.
I'll tell you what, even if it's nothing, I'll put it on my desk.
Later that afternoon, in the Oak Island Research Center,
Hey, guys.
Hey, Marty.
Okay.
Marty Lagina meets up with Oak Island historian Doug Kroll, along with Gary Drayton and archaeologist Laird Niven, to share the team's latest discovery.
I still think this little artifact here, you guys haven't seen it yet, but I think it's something. Have you seen this, Gary?
I'm hoping that is something similar that I've recovered in England. Yes, it is. I was hoping that this stone was exactly like this.
What is it?
This is a dress stone or a gun stone. This is really, really old. This is a projectile, mate.
Is it?
Before the
Well, that's
days
what-
of cannonballs, iron cannonballs. They called them dress stones because the guys were out looking for stones of a certain size. They become known as gun stones. But it's a projectile. It was fired out of a blunderbuss on an old ship.
Yeah.
Dating back to before the 17th century, a blunderbuss is a firearm with a short, large caliber barrel that featured a flared muzzle. Known as the predecessor to the modern shotgun, the blunderbuss was a single-shot weapon that utilized gunstones, iron musket balls, and other projectiles. Incredibly, it was also a type of weapon long associated with the Pilgrims who founded the Plymouth Colony. Could this discovery actually be evidence that helps corroborate James McQuiston's theory of who might have been behind the Oak Island mystery?
I get energized when they actually turn up something.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Here we go. We got a core.
See what Lady Luck gives us.
Yeah.
Terry Matheson and Charles Barkhouse are supervising the core drilling operation of the team's latest borehole in the C1 cluster, known as CD 4.5.
What you got, Adam?
78.
78.
Thanks, Adam. Let's open her up.
We got some wood here, Terry.
What's the approximate depth?
That's 78. What do you want to call it? 75?
Call it 75. See what's going on.
Yeah.
We went from very dense clay rich till into a section of beam or wood or some kind of a timber, meaning boding well for that being in place, an in place structure, a tunnel perhaps.
It's possible, yeah.
A possible tunnel found at a depth of 75 feet in borehole CD 4.5? because the team has recently drilled through another believed tunnel some 15 feet deeper in this area. Could that mean they have now encountered yet another man-made structure? If so, might it possibly lead to the source of the silver and gold they have also detected?
Hey, Scott, check it out.
Guys? Hey, Scott, we're just pulling it apart. Kind of an interesting find here.
Yep. Well, if there's any metal in this, that pinpointer will find it.
All right.
Find anything?
Well, I got a hit here, but I'm trying to determine whether it's a screw in the table or...
Want me to lift it up?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, there's something in here.
There.
Yep. It's in this piece, whatever it is. A little piece of metal. What the heck that is, I don't know.
A metal object? Also discovered with possible evidence of a wooden tunnel some 75 feet deep in borehole CD 4.5?
Great find, Charles.
We're very interested in this C1 cluster area because we're getting a lot of wood hits and we're finding pieces of metal. Bag it, tag it, have Kelly look at it.
Yep.
But what's even more interesting about it is we have no historical record of any work being done in this area. Hey, Rick.
Hi, guys.
After being alerted of the new and potentially important discoveries, Rick Lagina arrives to inspect them and receive a detailed report.
So CD 4.5, we hit wood at about 74 and 75 feet. And we also found a chunk of metal.
This was at 75.5 feet. It's encrusted, so it's really hard to tell what it is, but it does have some weight to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does. It does, yeah. It's hard to say what it is. Certainly not from the rig.
No.
Another mystery.
Yeah.
Although finding evidence of a tunnel, along with metal, at a depth of 75 feet in the Money Pit area, offers the team hope that they could be close to a major discovery. 3 weeks ago, while drilling in borehole D2, just 13.5 feet to the southwest, at a depth of some 90 feet, they also obtained evidence of another wooden tunnel that dated to as early as 1488, as well as a mysterious piece of metal that contained a significant amount of gold. Is it possible that both of these potential tunnels could be connected to the original Money Pit?
I think, based on everything we've learned, the interesting metals in D2, perhaps this will be a surprise as well.
Okay.
So I'm going to take this down the archaeology trailer and then put this under XRF.
Okay.
All right? Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
See you, Rick.
Yep.
Later that afternoon, following their discovery at CD 4.5,
Hey.
Rick and Charles meet with Rick's brother Marty and professional conservator Kelly Barassa at the archaeology trailer.
What do you guys got?
I found another piece of metal.
This could be good.
The unusual thing is 75.5 feet because the tunnel horizon is 86 to 93.
Yeah.
So what's that doing there?
Yeah.
Let's see it. Huh.
Looks cement-like on the surface. I don't think there's much cleaning can be done. Nonetheless, we can still test it with the XRF.
Okay.
See what it says.
Absolutely.
Using an X-ray fluorescent spectrometer, or XRF, Kelly will conduct a chemical analysis of the encrusted object. The device works by emitting non-destructive radiation, which can identify the elemental composition of metal objects.
There we go.
Iron, that's not a shock.
Yeah.
Whoa! Hey, you. That's gold. How about that?
The Laginas and their team have gathered at the 10X drill site to pay tribute to their late friend and partner, Dan Blankenship.
Okay, we're all here in honor of Dan Blankenship, and the island, of course, was a big part of Dan. Dan is a big part of all our lives. Rick did this beautiful plaque, and it's all made from basically the island.
Along with Dan's son, Dave Blankenship, and daughter, Linda Flowers, they have placed Dan's old drilling rig as a memorial to him at the site of what Dan considered his greatest breakthrough in the 50 years he tirelessly worked to solve the Oak Island mystery, Borehole 10X.
I think it's borrow from Lincoln, altogether fitting and proper that we do this little ceremony, and I don't think he would have wanted a whole bunch of words here today because he wasn't that sort of guy. I think he would...
Few words.
Few words, yeah. Dan was a big part of our lives for, gosh, the last 15 years or so. I mean, the first role he played, he was sort of this enigmatic, you know, almost like a superhero to Rick and I years ago when we'd read about things.
I would think that my father would feel like we are all family. We're the Oak Island family right now. I think he would be happy. It's a happy day today to see this plaque and to know that he's going to be remembered.
Hopefully, when people visit the island in the future, they will look at that sign and remember the man, the individual. A very unique, one-of-a-kind individual that will leave a lasting legacy here on Oak Island and indeed in all of our lives.
Where his footsteps seem prudent, we're trying to follow and extend them. Been a great year. Thanks for all the hard work.
But for Dan, I really thought this year we'd have Dan's breakthrough. Well, we didn't. We didn't do that, but we sure have come up with a lot of information.
In a year that saw some of the most amazing discoveries ever made, from medieval tools and artifacts to incredible new evidence that something of great value could very well lie buried in the fabled money pit. In addition to extensive man-made structures in the swamp dating back as much as 8 centuries, Rick, Marty, and Craig have not only validated more than a decade of hard work and personal sacrifices.
Oh my God, you're too strong.
They have now come closer than ever to revealing the truth behind Oak Island's incredible mystery.
Charles, ready? My man, keep the faith. I know you will.
I never lost it, I never will.
Theirs is a story that will surely change history as we know it, just as it has changed their lives and the lives of everyone around them forever.
You know, 1200 AD, people working in a swamp on Oak Island? That's crazy.
There's a wonderful story written here. I've always wanted to turn the last page on Oak Island, and it's certainly not there yet. We're but chapters in after all this time. We're just beginning.